Hello, everyone, and welcome to GLOC Online. The Glamorous Legends of Calgary are back at it again. We are here to give you all the goop and gag about RuPaul's Season 12, Episode 10. We are really excited. I am one of your hosts. I'm Karla Marx. I'm very excited to be here, joined, as always, by my brilliant and beautiful co-host, the glue that keeps this show running. Let's also blame her if anything goes wrong. It's Vanta Blaque! Hello, Vanta.
Hello. Well,
How are you?
I am great. I'm good. I'm in the workroom again, which I may switch up at some point, but I mean, they let people who were born with boobs in the workroom today, so I may as well embrace it.
This is your day. Happy breasticles.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are very excited. We are joined tonight by a very special guest, a good friend of ours. We'll see if we're still friends after the show. From Vancouver, the one and only Dust Queen.
Dustarella.
Hey.
Ma'am.
Oh, wow. It is uncanny. It is.
I just shut my computer.
That is nightmare fuel. Oh my
Never
god.
again.
You are like, I mean, Chewbacca, obviously, but like with fashion sense.
You better make your bed or I'm gonna get you.
Wow.
It is terrifying. Wow. The comments are here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm living. I'm very excited. Also for Karla's joy of this episode with the Star Wars that was never once mentioned, but we had a Star Wars.
Zero!
I want a Star Wars episode. Give me something. I want a Transformers episode. I want
a Star Wars episode of Drag Race.
Yes, I do.
You have the star of the new trilogy of Star Wars.
And she loved it.
But a single, not even from Star Wars, they just gave, like, copyright? Do you think that we have a copyright issue?
If I make that noise?
What is that? You are a frightened chihuahua.
I'm a frightened Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Wow.
Lena, I agree with you. I also wanted Rudy to tell the Queens that she was judged so we could learn that she was a Star Wars fan. I'm going to guess Crystal.
Absolutely.
And then
also, I wonder if Jada. I feel like Jada has like a secret geek side.
I bet you not.
No?
I bet you Jada would give us a child, and that would be the end of it.
That's fair. I like to think she likes a Star Wars.
People are definitely excited about this episode. I'm excited about this episode. I think let's jump right into it.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we started out with the workroom scene. Widow Von Jew departed last episode. Heidi is sad. Jada preaches some positivity. And Jackie, possibly with some foreshadowing, says, I need a win. We all agree. Jackie's got to step it up. Thoughts on Widow's departure?
No.
No thoughts on Widow's departure? I think we have a frozen Vanta Blaque at the moment, so we'll just wait and possibly they will rejoin us.
They gone done been frozen. I don't have a
there we go.
Widow going home. I feel like Widow was kind of set up for failure a little bit throughout the season. So.
Interesting. I mean, she certainly did from time to time. Widow definitely never shied away from pointing out a moment where she may have been shaded.
I think that she was aware a little bit of the edit that was happening and a little bit of the like puppet strings that steer the RuPaul's Drag Race boat and narrative at times.
That's fair. Yeah, she did seem to be. Okay.
She's like above it all a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna miss Widow, but I'm glad that she had that time on TV because she has such an important message and is such an incredible figurehead, and she's beautiful. She is so beautiful. She doesn't even have to wear foundation.
But yeah, best skin in her drag.
Yeah.
I was happy for her. I also felt like I didn't see much new coming out of Widow by the time she left, so
I would agree.
I was kind of imagining that would be the end. Okay, and so Rue comes out and just goes straight into the maxi. I've noticed, I'm not sure why, but we no longer get the like little Rue message. She already has hers.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I guess that is true.
It's been about 4 episodes now that we don't get Rue messages anymore.
Why do you think that is? I'll give you one guess.
Okay, what do you think?
Oh, it's timing. They've realized that it's a more compelling show if they cut that half a minute to a minute out of it and allow for more workroom talk so that we can get to know our queens a little bit better.
I definitely think that that's a reason. I also think I'm pretty sure that the wig stylist who was like revealing secrets about Rue's wigs and kind of got subtly disciplined by Rue, they made that wig that's in those videos. And I'm wondering if they have been exited from the show. Because since that happened about 3 episodes ago, around the same time the workroom hair disappeared, I've noticed that Rue's wigs have changed substantially. So I wonder if there's something there. That could be like maybe I'm wearing a little bit of a tinfoil hat. I definitely think you're right with just like, they probably just want more time for interaction.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's no need for them to tease it and then for Rue to come in and explain the challenge. It was always overkill.
It was definitely redundant.
Yeah, it was an opportunity for RuPaul to like do some clever writing and to like make puns and things. But besides that,
yeah, I don't really miss it. And pointing it out, most people are like, oh. I don't think anybody really misses it.
What I miss is the banister on the stairs that come out of the door.
There's no banister. What's the health and safety regulations on this?
Yeah, it's been 2 seasons of just raw stairs, and I'm pretty sure that that's not building code, up to code, you know?
I'm worried about the code. I'm worried about the code.
Well, what if she trips over some of those bell-bottom pants from her Klein Epstein Parker suits?
I think the brim of her hat will save her face.
So Rue goes straight into the Maxi Challenge, and she's announcing that there will be cis women on the show. I don't know if I was a little too nitpicky on this at the beginning, but I did notice that Rue said that they would be making over the super fans, not putting them into drag.
I think you're being nitpicky.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so we get into the pairs. I thought this was super cute. What do we think of the pairs? Was Jenny shade thrown? Jada, Bethany, Crystal and Grace.
No.
Sherry and Janet, Heidi and Nicole, Gigi and Shay, and Jackie and Tiffany. What did we think of the pairing?
Not a single ounce of shade was thrown.
Yeah, I think it was very fair.
They were very nicely paired. And everyone was so kind and happy and excited and like,
that's kind of the theme of this season, too. Like, they've been really nice to each other and very accepting of each other all season, minus the times when they get into it for the cameras.
I think that the only real tension points this season were Aiden.
Yeah.
There.
He's an outsider.
What's that?
He was, like, the true outsider. Like, he truly did not understand the sisterhood because she's never had it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think Heidi really has had much of that either, but...
Heidi was raised by drag queens, you can tell.
Yeah, there definitely is a more comfortability amongst other queens.
Yeah, there's more drag queens in her life than there are in Aiden's.
Even if that's 2 people, yeah, for sure.
That's just incredibly obvious.
Yeah. So we jump into the workroom. There's an oodle of cuteness. Janet seems, right off the hop, I was like, Janet the Planet is my jam. I thought she was adorbs the whole time.
Legally, Janet the Planet.
Also, yeah, that was her name. She's like, hi, I'm Janet the Planet. I was like, okay.
But that's her name.
I love her. I want to be friends with JNP? Janet? JTP? JTP? Yeah, sorry, I don't listen when Sherry talks, so I didn't pick it up very well.
I have a filter in my brain. I can't actually hear it anymore. I thought the workroom was really cute. I thought that I don't think they were editing Jada hard because she did the things and she said the things and her reactions were natural. I felt like this episode is Exhibit A in Jada's win for the season?
I think that they tried to make it look a little bit more difficult for ratings, but I feel like overall this was, when you get people who watch the show a lot, you get the Sasha Bell moment where they think that they know everything. However, these people come in literally having eat, sleep, and breathed Drag Race every single season. And so they're like, oh, I'm going to be on the runway. Oh, I'm probably going to end up lip syncing. I'm going to need to walk in heels. And like, they knew what they were in for because they've studied the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I really thought that they showed a lot of really sweet moments of Jada helping people and imparting her knowledge. I love just how like straight up pageant mom she was, whereas like, you will win or you will go home.
You will not come back.
Killed me. And then there was this really sweet moment that they kind of made it into like a little bit of a comedy bit when Grace and Crystal were like bonding over some anxiety that they both feel, and they're like, yeah, I get nervous too. And there was this like look where Jada's watching them in the workroom, like not with this, bitch face or anything. She's just watching, but it just looked like she couldn't comprehend the idea of not having confidence. And they were like, sometimes I get scared. And she's like, what does that mean?
Have you ever met someone?
Yeah, we lost Vanta. Okay.
Bye, Vanty. One thing that I really find charming is
someone in real life who. Oh.
And
you're glitching, Vanta. If there's anything you can do.
But keep going, baby.
I did everything better this time. Actually, is it worth me running out and seeing if I can check stuff? Or do you want me to just...
No, keep going. We'll see. Okay. If it happens a couple more times, then maybe, but
for sure. No worries. I was just saying, have you ever met someone in real life who actually has that Jada moment of people are anxious? Just people who don't. Because I have met one person. But you understand feelings, though.
I do now, but when I was younger, I was just like, partially because like I do feel anxiety from sometimes, but I just like didn't know what it was, and that's so like I kind of had to have this moment where I was like, somebody else taught me kind of like by observing other people. I was like, oh, anxiety exists. Mm-hmm. I also have that. And then I met Anne and I got a PhD in anxiety, but
yeah, that's like a master class in mental health issues.
God bless anxiety. Local legend.
I love her very much.
And Trisket aficionado.
Yes. She says you're welcome in the comments. What a blessing. What a blessing to have her here.
Wow, people are suggesting putting pictures of holes.
I mean, you actually can put photos in there. You can upload files into the chat.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a question. We get all these lovely workroom moments. We get all these super fans talking about what drag means to them, about what often they say, what does drag mean to you? And they say, this is what drag race means to me, which I didn't quite like that we saw a complete conflagration with drag race and drag. That was kind of annoying. But here's the question that I have for you two and also the audience. Is this Ru's way of saying drag for everyone?
No.
Is this a sign of change and growth, or do we think that this is PR and marketing to soften some of the negative attention the show has gotten?
I think it's more on the PR and marketing side, unfortunately. I want to say that it is growth and it is like a sign of changing times and culture. But if that were the case, the conversation would have been more about drag culture and gender and queerness rather than drag race, or when one of the girls was talking about how drag helped her become more connected to the queer community, and that was her, and feeling more comfortable in herself, but then she wasn't allowed to share. Like they cut whatever she said after that was, whether that was her sharing
there was a clear cut there. Yeah
so, and that's not my favorite.
So Anne in the comments wrote, why were all the super fans cis women? And I think this comes down to, again, when we look at Drag Race as this thing that exists on the internet that is pushing this art form that was created via counterculture into the mainstream, it's also enabling that really terrible epidemic that's happening in gay clubs of like cis women going there for different rites of passage, to sort of fetishize and use gay culture as a circus of sorts, for their own goods. And I just feel like this enforces and empowers that. So I don't, I'm not.
Absolutely. I'm going to read some of the comments here. We've got some great comments. Pretty much unanimously, we're going from Mac to Lena Frackno. I love that. Jordan, Valerie, James, and basically we're all across the board. Everyone's saying that we think it's a PR move, that it's superficial, and there wasn't real change. Also, James Mears has an excellent comment and says, it's not great for the trans and non-binary performers yet again. What would have been interesting is if they were all trans women, not to short the powerful experience that drag is valid. And James points out a point. They never called them queens. They never referred to them a single time as drag queens. And I felt like I wasn't reading too much into that one. It was a deliberate choice to say, you aren't drag queens.
It was super fans having the super fan experience,
100%.
and that's all they wanted it to be. They just wanted you to be living your fantasy of being on a TV show, not having this really like valuable that could be a life-changing experience for some of these women to get to be in drag and realize that they're allowed to be in drag, because that, at least for me, and I know a lot of other folks, like that is the barrier of realizing that you're literally allowed to be in drag. And that was
absolutely
the big thing for me.
It was like a cisgendered Make-A-Wish.
Yeah,
you nailed it, which is also like, you already have secret celebrity drag race, which is like cis Make-A-Wish.
Nope, don't want to talk about it.
So why are we doubling down on that? I was it could have been done better. I was happy to see. The problem is that at this point it wasn't enough. That if this had happened on season 4, it might have been a little bit more, oh, okay, like, you know, by this point, I think that they could have and should have done more. I also, while we were waiting to sign in here, I actually did look back to I just picked a season. It happened to be Alaska's because I love her.
Of course.
But I looked back to that season, and they made a big deal of saying, you're a drag queen now. They said that several times to the makeover contestants who are military servicemen. So I did find the omission of the word, you're a drag queen, really kind of annoying. So they kept going back to the like drag mom component, which maybe was their way of sort of what they thought was filling in that gap that they created. Yeah,
but
maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it's just language, and they're women. Why would they be in drag?
Well, it did seem like an odd policing when, like, calling each other drag queens is like to almost find clips where someone doesn't casually mention, like, how does it feel to be a drag queen?
So
like, surely that came up.
I know that we're really into making a big deal out of this particular subject. However, they have had cisgendered women in the workroom getting makeovers before, and it was in season 8 with Bob the Drag Queen, when they had people from that TLC show. Little Big World, and they called them drag queens. So I don't know whether it's because we've moved into this political state of we need to absolutely talk about this, but it's happened before. So I like that we're under the microscope for this one. However, when I think about how nitpicky we're being around syntax of language and inclusion of language, I think that it's an oversight, not a, Because it's been done before, so.
Fair points.
Okay. I love talking about makeup. So makeup evaluations, they start showing people painting. So I have a question for y'all. Have you done other people's makeup? And do you find it something to be enjoyed? Is it difficult for you? Do you like painting drag on other people's faces? What do you think?
Vanta.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go.
I have done drag makeup on others before, but it was actually before I started doing drag. So some of it was cool. One of them I did was really, really unfortunate, and that was the one that went out in public, and I felt really, really guilty about it.
I have one of those too. Remind me to talk about it.
It was rough. My poor friend Chris, he looked great. He did a great job. He was in like the Twisted fundraiser thing. Oh, I botched his face.
Oh no.
But yeah, no, I haven't. I was supposed to do your face, Karla, and then you got sick and I wasn't able to do it. But I looked great as you. I was a great stand-in.
Yes, I painted you for a face swap night, and then I had a gig that you came to as with my face on you and freaked out a lot of people. And then we were on my way home and you were gonna paint your face on me, and you watched the illness destroy me in 20 minutes.
I did indeed.
Like, I'll be okay to dead.
No, and you were so upset. You're like, I don't want to back out. I'm like, no, I think you need to lie down. And I remember you walking into your house and just standing there, and your partner just looked at you. And you're like, I'm sick. And she's like, go take a shower. Just go.
I was done. Dust, how has your painting adventures gone?
Yeah, so I had to, one time I've painted many people, but one, because as you know, I have 16 drag children.
I did not know it was 16 with those hips.
Oh, you look great for 16.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. So but that's one particular time I had to paint a face. The face was really, really long and the skin was super scaly, and it was like really difficult because their face was like, I don't know, it was just different than mine. I've got this big round canvas and they just had this like really long, stretched out. It's a good thing I got this person a lot of skincare because they needed it. Yes, it was. It absolutely was anxiety, and like, whew, mama, an exfoliator does a skin good, and I'm happy to say that she really, really, really sticks to that skincare routine now. I'd be happy to paint her now, although, again, her face is long. It's like like my face is like a square piece of Lego. Hers is like that long, tall, spindly one.
That 1x4 Lego?
Yeah, what the fuck?
This is exactly why we asked you on the show.
Yes.
Was to just, who cares what you have to say about Drag Race? We're just here for you to throw shade the entire time.
I am so mad that I have not taken one of those glasses.
Sponsored by Dickens.
I truly took our space for granted. I was like, I don't need to take this fun mug. I'm taking fun.
Always have a Dickens mug.
So I was at Go-Go Battles. It was my last night in Calgary. And I was like, oh my God, I really want this cup. And Karla was like, put it in your jacket pocket and leave. And I was like, bye, bitch.
And then you're like super stealthy, sitting like on the curb directly outside the bar, just like drinking from it. I'm like, you know the bouncers come out here to smoke, right? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure James watched me put it into my pocket. Like, I'm pretty sure James and Bo both watched me like slip it into my jacket sleeve.
James does raise an excellent point that if you are interested in some pretty sweet music, Hang the DJ is on the, so go to Chris Hewitt's page or to Dickens, and there's Hang the DJ happening later, so I will probably be tuning into that. There's lovely, lovely beats. It is also time, we should also mention our sponsor.
I just have a quick question.
Yes.
Karla,
yeah.
I would, since you're, you have a PhD.
Sure did.
What did the DJ do? Why is the DJ being hanged?
Because he plays that amazing music.
Oh man, is that what happens when you're good at things?
Yeah, you're safe.
Well, Anne wouldn't know anything about that, nor would you.
Wow, Karla. Just the shots at Anne. I think you have other children in here to abuse, but.
Yeah, well, Jerry's an easy target. So broad, big shoulders.
Large.
Large.
If you need someone to move, you call Jerry.
Big tits, big pussy, big mouth, boring.
Planet Jerry.
The only one with bigger titties than me. Yeah.
Not for long, kid. Look out.
Those titties are non-binary. Okay,
so we watched people paint. I had like a mental breakdown watching Jackie paint. On Snacky Cocks. I was like, what is wrong with you? I don't know what filter they have to put on to make Jackie's paint job look great, but just watching it, I was just like,
you learned a lot of what not to do.
Wow. If anybody here is aspiring drag queens, please do not do anything that Jackie does. Heidi did a better job on her person than on herself.
It has been known to happen.
Crystal pulled it through. I was a little worried. It looked very sweaty for a while, and then I see that they hadn't like set her, so okay.
Well, have you seen that she does all of her makeup in like the cream or grease paint first? Like the entire
she paints everything.
It scares me.
Yeah, okay, choices.
Yeah.
So I just bringing up the makeup before we get into the runway looks. I do have another issue that I would like us to talk about if we're okay with doing so.
I love talking about issues, so.
And for me, about half of the girls walked out there, and I didn't necessarily feel like it was extra. It was very, very soft paint, and a lot of those drag queens like Gigi and Heidi painted them very, very soft, and they looked beautiful. I'm not saying they didn't look great, but they looked, I was like, that's not, it's the where's the transformation point.
Yes.
Where I felt like Jada's girl walked out there, Sherry's girl walked out there, and I was like, drag queen. And the other two, I was like, it's pretty, but did you actually do drag? Which gets into the whole idea of like, what is drag? I think that there needs to be some sort of transformation aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can paint soft and pretty. Exhibit A, what Jada did. But for some of them, I didn't feel like it was very transformative.
I would strongly agree with that. I was actually quite surprised that they didn't call Gigi out for how soft her makeup was. Like,
I was shocked by that. And I think Ross Matthews is protecting her with the like, oh, it's chic. Oh, it's chic.
There were so many statements that I feel like I was surprised that they didn't tear into it a little bit more, and maybe they're just working with the mindset that there's not enough of a transformation if you're like assigned female at birth, which is a false statement, but I don't know if that's what they were trying to imply by just visually having that softness and just letting it be.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
From the comments, we have Anne saying Jada, Crystal, and she who will not be named beat those mugs. I would agree with that. Mac, which could be Duke or Mac, or both, are saying Gigi was very pedestrian. Bo was saying not enough camp. I agree with half of that. Anne said BB could go to the grocery store in that mug and nobody would notice, and that is the straight tea.
Yeah.
Gigi's girl was covered up, touched by all of it. Yep. Yeah, there was some, I was surprised by how gentle a lot of the comments were when I felt like they could have gone a little harsher. Dust, your thoughts?
No, I don't have any.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I did feel throughout it that I didn't have a lot of notes to write down throughout the episode of sort of notable points, I guess.
Absolutely, and that's why I kind of had these like broader points. Usually we kind of go knit more into each moment, whereas this one it's kind of like, well, what do we think was the idea of there needs to be a transformation, or, you know, like, was this PR versus a sincere move? Because I felt like a lot of the episode was just about the human connection, which I found it a very sweet episode. I liked seeing these girls relate. I liked seeing them connect with people through drag. I did like that.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the energy of the episode overall. I felt like it was absolutely lovely. One thing that I feel I mean, everything has a flip side to it, but for me as a local performer who struggles really, really hard with getting those drag race people to then accept the type of drag that I do and that a lot of my friends do as non-binary trans performers, is that a lot of perpetrating these drag race superfans, it doesn't encourage them to actually support what drag truly is, because drag race happens but once a year usually, and it's not what's truly happening on home soil. It's just not. And so these drag race fans, I'm glad that they called them drag race super fans, because that's all they are, except for Janet the Planet, who was raised by drag queens.
Yes.
I definitely, I mean, we can do the raise your hand if you've heard somebody on your Facebook say, I love drag race. I love drag, on commenting on an event page for some Rue girl coming through town, and you've never seen them at a drag show, even though you invited them to one every single week. But they'll go, just Bob drag queens in town, I'm gonna go spend $40 on that.
I personally have converted a lot of cis girls into being drag fans. I feel like we've rehabilitated some people from being drag race super fans to being drag fans, and that's really, really magical.
Yes, and James Mears is echoing that in the comments and says those super fans, when they see inclusive drag, are usually here for it. And I agree. I think that it's important not to give up on those people when you're just like, okay, it's like, no, keep inviting them. One day you'll get them out, and then suddenly they'll be like, this cool, and
And drag race is really important because it is an accessible access point for so many people to learn about drag and discover that it's more than just the stereotypes of drag queens, right?
Yeah. And sometimes if it's too much, too fast, too soon, you can scare people away that otherwise might really love it. So should we get into some runway looks? And that's the moment that Vanta has frozen temporarily. Where are the holes? We're sitting on them. So while we're waiting for Vanta to unfreeze, there you are.
Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna have to get like an Ethernet connector and just sit on the floor of my living room.
Isn't that so stressful when you glitch in a live feed? Fuck me.
I can't believe. Can you imagine?
Do you even know anything about that?
Shut up, Karla. I swear to God, I will reach through the computer and I will smudge your makeup.
Here, let me make you feel like you're at home.
Oh my God. To the window.
Oh, down. Oh no. Oh no. I love upside down drag. That's a new diversity quota we're gonna have to work with.
If you're listening later on any of our platforms, we just flipped all of our cameras upside down because if you have not watched commercial drag, you are missing out. But every once in a while there are technical issues, like one episode that I was in which everyone who sent in a pre-record video, except for me actually, was upside down, which was iconic.
I almost sent you 2 copies of my performance, Dust, and one was going to be upside down just in case, so that it would be the right way up when you played it.
What's really sad is that people haven't really like sent in videos of them purposely being upside down yet, except it did inspire a new drag alter ego. So my drag child Homo Hardware has this new drag alter ego called Chinadian Tire, which is basically they draw a face.
The chin.
Yeah.
I found it incredibly inspiring, and my roommates and I were like, maybe we should all just do that.
100%. I think that we should do a full commercial drag of them.
I think it's now a requirement. Like, I think it's beautiful.
You can
not by the hair in our chinny chin chin.
Canadian tire. It's Chinadian, just exactly how you would expect it to be. Dot tire.
I love that name.
Just a chin in an upside down world. That's clever.
Wild. So let's get into the runways. Let's do some polls.
Runway. Run.
We're bringing it to the runway.
Ooh, are we going to show poll?
Yeah, poll.
Show poll.
Show and poll. You got to see my messy desktop, which is just covered in Snatch Game headshots. So.
Okay, let's do one at a time.
Let me pull up this poll.
Yeah, we start with RuPaul.
RuPaul. All right, we've got this bedazzled extravaganza of sorts.
I gave it a toot. I liked it.
I also gave it a toot.
I liked the hair. It looked heavy. It looked expensive, and the gown was lined.
Yes, I love the hair for this one. It is
here for the hair.
It's a classic RuPaul hair shape, but I'm feeling it today. I quite like it. Yeah. Dustarella.
Jerry Lynn Spears gasped.
Oh my god.
A lot of people are liking it. What do you think, Dust? Oh, we're chugging.
I don't like RuPaul. Pass.
Fair enough.
Pass.
The only critique I have is that the under the bust little chain, I wish it was a little lower. Like I wish it made like more voluptuous, you know? Yeah,
it could have been. I think it's a small detail. I'm still giving it a 2. I love the hair. It looked pretty. It was stunning.
Does she have elf ears on?
Oh,
I see where the hair goes, but it does kind of look like it.
Yeah. All righty. All right, are we good for the next one?
Let's bring on the next one.
Hold on. Jerry says that she is going to invest in fracking because of that gown.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, we've got Heidi Aphrodite.
And how do we feel about Heidi? Oh, I didn't realize it was spelled like Afro, which I get it. I think it is.
You get the joke now?
I just thought it rhymed. I didn't actually pay attention, and as you can see in the poll, I just typed out Aphrodite like the goddess. So
we are. So we have a question in the comments that say from Mac. Do we toot just the one or both? We are doing both. It is a collective.
Oh,
toot boot.
Yes.
Yeah. So collectively, I'm giving them a boot. I felt that between Heidi's terrible makeup and the extremely underwhelming gown for Honey, I couldn't.
I found it offensive that she came out in a sparkly, beautiful, flowy activity that I would wear if it came in black, and then put her partner in a pillowcase with arms.
Yeah, it was bad. That she borrowed.
Is that just a refurbished scrubs? Is she just being like rah frontline workers?
I mean, it might be. She might have taken it from Valerie's trunk, but who knows?
To me, I thought it came from the linoleum connection. I swear I had an apartment kitchen floor that looked like that.
Haven't we all?
It was bad. All right, let's move her on.
All right.
Jackie, what do we think of Jackie and Snacky?
No way, gross. Why does
Jackie
Jackie look like that? Why does her neck look like Anne's? Like a plunging neckline like that with that particular hair? It's insane.
Don't read me like that.
You contoured your cheekbones. You're fine. She looks insane. Her neck looks like Anne's circa 2018.
That's a lot of neck.
It's a lot of neck. It looks like too much neck because of the way the hair lays and the dress. It's just like, here's my neck and here's my clavicles. Like, what the fuck?
Her neck ends about here.
Yeah, her belly button.
Yeah.
She doesn't look good.
So I gave it a boot, but for me, I thought Jackie herself looked okay. What was sad to me was what she did to Snacky. I thought that Snacky had a lot of personality as Tiffany, but it had problems coming through in this part of it.
Yeah, it was definitely
how Jackie is the most busted queen of the season. Like her makeup is crunchy. It's like someone dumped a bowl of cereal on her face and then kicked her in it.
Wow.
I think that she's very. I think she's very lucky that Heidi's in there because.
A very valid point.
Heidi has a charm about her, whereas
yeah, if we're just talking about makeup.
Oh yeah, but like
Heidi's finger painting. Like I swear, I could probably do a better job finger painting than Heidi does.
Wait, you don't finger paint?
Not with this mug, not with this glamour.
Cool, you were fooling me. That's good.
Thanks, love. Hey, Jess, go fuck yourself. On to the next one.
Hey, Karla. Clean under your bed or I'm going to get you.
I believe it. You're scary.
I was going to... Well, Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Okay, I was going to say I liked the outfits.
I did like the outfits.
I toot the outfits, but it fell very, very flat and awkward together.
I'm booting the whole thing. Maybe there was more shimmer and shine that didn't get picked up. I just can't.
That's fair.
Oh! Comment of the night for me. Jerry Lynn Spears coming with fire. Snacky looked like Britta with less teeth.
Whoa!
Woo!
Well then.
I love it.
Well then.
I
All right.
love it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's get to Jada.
The toot of the season.
It's a double toot because they're both so tooty.
That's drag mama.
Her face is unfucking believable. That on that little fucking white bitch is unfucking real.
Well, and that there's still a family resemblance.
Okay, favorite moment of the night is Jada's talking head where she's like, she's a rich black woman and I'm just a white lady. I literally spit taked. I was like, fuck you. That's so funny.
It is so funny. And then she made those outfits.
Yeah. Jada's a pageant mom. You can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, and I loved her walkout where she was fully treating it as pageant mom, like a little like chin up and like primping and pruning. It was good.
To me, the point that made this like an all-time "this is how you make up" challenge moment was when you saw the group lip sync kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you saw just how little personality that Jazz had, and how wooden she was, that she could hide that she worked with that and got a good runway and felt natural and calm, and then left to her own devices, deer in headlights. But
which is fair.
All-time two for me. This is, in terms of the workroom challenge, like the makeover challenge, this is an all-time performance for me.
I want Jada to be my drag mom. I think I want to be best friends with Crystal, but I would love Jada as like a drag mentor, you know?
Yeah, I do know. I think that's right there.
Yeah. What just happened there? What did you put in your water? Oh.
What?
What happened?
What do you think, Vanta?
I'm drinking a Zevia root beer.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you sprinkled something on your beverage.
No.
Then.
Okay, let's get into this. We've got Bird and Ernie DeBarge. Well done, Vanta. Are we shooting or booting?
That's a toot. That's a toot.
I think this says non-binary drag rights.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a toot. I'll toot it.
This says, I contoured a colored egg. I contoured my Easter egg and called it drag.
And gave it some eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean, work. The problem I have with this is that when you do that red complexion, doing that intense white just under the brows and not having a really, really intense highlighter, it's really distracting, and it looks clown and not in a way I think that she was expecting it to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well.
Geraldine is clocking some of the blending on the foundation. That is really hard to do.
Oh.
You're getting into like all the way down the full body stuff. I'm gonna give her a little bit of a pass on that, but there were some mistakes.
Overall, I feel like
lesbian fantasy forever. I agree, James.
Continental breakfast and PM found dead.
Absolutely. And as Bo has contributed, it was parody porn realness.
Ooh, strong work, Bo. I agree. Let's move on to She Who Will Not Be Named.
I wasn't sure if we wanted to go over this, but it's
just pictures.
This is
just
It's just pictures of Tara. Oh my god.
Then I'm giving this person.
Shoot for Janet.
Shoot for Janet for me.
Snaps for Janet, honestly. Like, also, that name was predetermined, clearly, to have a pre-printed little apron with the name on it, unless someone brought, like, one of those, like, someone brought a Cricut in the back room, like.
It's just smart to do. Like, it's really smart to do. Because you know there's going to be a design challenge. You're having everything made anyway. You might as well come up with your model's name ahead of time. It's just, there's the problem with this particular individual, and I wish it had been anyone else. She has forethought that nobody else on any season has ever put in. Like, the fact that she pre-planned the name and had a monogram apron made is unbelievable attention to detail and foreshadowing of a potential. It's unreal. It's unreal. It's like we've seen people who have excelled at Drag Race, like Bianca Del Rio and Aquaria, but we've never seen anything like this before. That's like the fucking tiny details. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll say that I think that there's a bit of an evolution here where, like, in season 12, this is expected. And I think that that's probably one of the reasons why Gigi dropped so much, is because they were like, you made that with just anybody in mind. You were like, it's a hat and a muumuu, poncho, and you're out the door.
It would fit any body that you were paired with. It would fit.
Her makeup, is exactly Sherry's makeup.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing, they look like fucking twins.
And with
it was uncanny.
Yeah, especially with such different like face shapes to begin with, to have that similarity, it's wild.
When they let cisgendered women compete on Drag Race, I want Janet the Planet to compete.
100%.
Oh, I want to win. My vote is.
I would say that she had the most personality of any of the super fans.
I don't know. I feel like Jackie's, was her name Jazz?
Snacky,
yeah. Snacky had personality as well. She came with a very interesting story as a fan, having watched it from an early age, and who watches the program with their mom, which I thought was really, really cute.
They had some queer energy.
But Janet had I was raised by the queer community energy.
Yeah, she knew what to do with it. I agree with Mac and say that Snacky's personality wasn't utilized like it should have been. I found that Tiffany had more personality than Snacky. Bo chimes in with she looks that Janet looks a little bit like Alyssa Edwards. I'm not quite getting that read, but maybe.
Is this I don't see it either, but I don't see it.
Yeah.
I can see the
in that she has some?
Is
okay, some people are coming to the okay.
Better than a Backhouse comment, so
maybe. There's like in the bottom right photo I see it a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe the point. I don't know. I'll just go to the next one.
Onwards to GG. Let's do GG. I'm booting it. I don't like the makeup that on BB. I think that I can't believe that Ross Matthews is like, oh, it's chic, it's fine. It's basic. This is Ardene's level.
I could make this. Any of us
like fucking fun for her.
I like what it is as like for like art reasons. I like it for that, but as a challenge, like that is lazy drag.
There's not much to it. Like you knew how to block out, to opposite some colors. Wow.
It's cool, but it's also like it's more like something that you and I would do for a show, honestly. Like, it would be funny if we, like, in person were hosting a show and we came out in this. Hilarious. But not really for a drag race challenge.
Bet we could pull that together in 3 days.
Oh, I bet I could pull it together in a day with a hot glue gun.
Yeah, I thought that this was her natural brow. I'm with Jordan on this one. What Laura says, I was expecting a reveal. Absolutely. I thought, okay, maybe they're going to twirl out of these and there'll be like a bodysuit underneath or something.
Or like a little purse. Give her a clutch. A little.
Dust, any final thoughts on the look?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know me, I love a good moo-moo. And I especially love a good moo-moo that starts at the neck and then just like no shape all the way down. I think what Gigi's trying to do is she's trying to show more silhouettes than we have seen on Drag Race before. Like we've seen a lot of the same over and over, cinched waist, blah, blah, blah. But these sort of like really chic flowing, also the opposing fabrics. I could see where her mind was at with this. My closing remark is that I hate Gigi Good. Thank you so much.
Wow! Throwing fire at the end there.
I'm just tired of fucking white, skinny drag queens. Sorry, Karla.
Don't I count because of the trans thing?
I said skinny and white. I didn't say anything about trans.
Well, doesn't that keep me still in there, or am I canceled too?
We'll talk about canceling you. We're not canceling you.
Did I get my frozen moment? What happened? I was gone for 10 seconds. What happened?
Oh, I read Karla for filth, and then she called me transphobic.
What did you say?
I think what we're all learning is that, Dust, your mind is a terrifying and wonderful place.
Yeah, you would absolutely know because you literally manage all of my panic attacks.
And that's friendship. That's love.
And it's friendship. Yeah. Queer friendship is managing each other's panic attacks.
Genuinely. That's genuinely it.
Okay, get your final toots and boots in real quick. We are going to tabulate the final results, and let's go through them. So get your votes in now, please.
People are still submitting. I appreciate it. 2 of you have not submitted. There's a chance that those 2 are me and Karla, but...
No, I submitted.
Oh, okay. I don't have the ability to submit, so then...
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're set?
I think so. I'm ending the poll, and I'm sharing the results.
Okay. We are looking at a overwhelming toot for Rue.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting a boot, solid boot, same proportions, a boot for Heidi. Pretty split on Jackie's look. 50, kind of, 1 vote away from being 50-50.
Yeah.
Who booted Jada?
Me.
Did you really?
I booted all of them. Drag Race sucks 2020. Woo!
Now available on iTunes.
Now, yeah. Well, actually, hey, yeah, we haven't really mentioned that. But I'm weirded out to say that there is something that Vanta Blaque and myself now have in common with RuPaul, and that is that we're also available on iTunes.
We really are. It's a true fact. You can check it now. Get in there with your iPhones.
So if you ever want to listen to this again, or if say there's one week that you watch the episode a little bit later and you're like, oh, I still want to hear what they had to say about the episode, you can now find GLOC. We'll be up every Monday as a podcast, and we will be available through SoundCloud, Mixcloud, iTunes, and Spotify. And then select video will be available on YouTube. So it's really, really exciting.
It is. I am thrilled. All I have wanted for many years now is a podcast, and I'm very excited that this gets to be part of the podcast journey.
Yeah, and we're doing it together. I love that we're doing it together.
Me too. I could not have asked for a better podcasting partner.
You both work very hard and you deserve this very much.
Thanks, Dust.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
Okay, let's get through the rest of these. And then we still have prizes to give away from Bar Patricia. That's still to come. So Bert and Ernie would get a unanimous toot minus the dust factor.
Yep.
Sherry gets a pretty close to unanimous minus dust.
Hey, can you read some of the comments for a second? You guys promoted your shit, and someone's over in the comments right now saying something about me. Can you go set Mackenzie straight for a moment?
Did you know that
you're available on Bandcamp?
Yeah,
Dustarella has an EP. Did you know that? They're a musician.
I would love to learn more about this.
Well, at the beginning of my isolation, I decided that I wanted to finally write an album because I really like music and I love singing and all those things. And I've been taking singing lessons and blah, 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 blah. And so I wrote an album and it's called Amateur, and you can find the link right there. I just posted it in the comments. And today, until 12 p.m. My time, so for another 3 hours, Bandcamp will be waiving all artist fees. So everything that you pay for my album will go directly to me and they won't take a cut.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And it's really fun. There's lots of reflections around my identity as a non-binary person. It's a really fun rap song about nothing and everything. There's an amazing song about my friend Tommy. And there's 2 covers of 2 of my very favorite songs ever written.
That's amazing. I'm so happy.
Rhythm of the Broccoli. Oh my God, James. Thank you so much. Sorry for interrupting the poll.
No. We're going to get to it anyway. And I'm glad we were able to. You are a very talented and incredible artist and activist, and I'm so excited that you produce something for our ear holes. I'm
so excited that I get to know the 2 of you and that I get to participate in this sort of thing because it's really fun. And it's really cool to be able to bridge communities from across Canada. And when Anne moved to Calgary, I was like, this is a great opportunity for me to go out there more and reconnect with that city that I loved so much for so many years. And I still love Calgary so much, and it's so stupid, but I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to give Anxiety a big shout out for that I feel like she was the conduit that really got so many of the awesome alternative Calgary community connected with the wonderful and talented community that's out there in Vancouver. And I know that for myself, I knew I had friends and I knew I had people that I loved working with in Calgary, but just kind of knowing that there's other people out there in other cities doing the same thing, that it's okay, cool. There's a wider world out there too. It was really awesome and amazing to find y'all. So thank you to Anne for the work that she did kind of bridging these communities. And then it's been really great, following up with you and Not Jerry and Chandelier and all these wonderful people that are out there. And it's been so welcoming. And then it's been the silver lining, I think, for me of the shutdown is that it's really, I feel like it's brought the Calgary and Vancouver communities a lot closer in some really cool ways.
Fingers crossed that high praise of Anne will cure her depression, finally.
No, she checked out. She didn't hear any of it.
She's just sitting there thinking, I'm a piece of shit. What the fuck?
She's like, all my friends are at a show together. No one's talking about me. We do this whole one thing.
All we've talked about.
I love Anne. I'm so glad that I was able to forcefully adopt her into our friend group.
Yeah.
Because it was a planned thing, and I was like, I think she needs to be with us, and now she's with us. It wasn't she didn't have a choice. It was not up to her. We decided that she needed to be with us, and we have not let her go since.
I came to Calgary and gave the final seal of approval on each and every one of you.
Oh, thank you.
I said, Vanta, carved egg. Karla will probably get better at makeup. She's amazing. I said, who else? Valerie? Yeah, be friends with her. There's literally nothing going on in her brain. Everything is fine.
Is that was what your seal of approval? I thought it was a rash. I've been trying to get rid of that thing for a while.
Did you catch her cholera?
It was Giardia and no.
Giardia
gay cholera. Everyone knows that.
You're similar.
Okay, let's wrap this up, and then we have a prize to give away. Bar Patricia has once again lovingly given us a prize to give away. So we're giving away one free menu item plus 20% off your total order, and they have booze. So please consider supporting Bar Patricia in this time. Their food is actually amazing. If you like
good.
If you like salty, meaty snacks, their prosciutto sandwich is off the hook. It's really, really good.
I love that. I'm living with vegetarians right now, and I could use a prosciutto sandwich. I love a vegetarian moment. I have nothing against it. These are no qualms. This is just an unrelated statement.
I love it. Okay, so let's get into the final thing. We get down to the bottom two. Jada wins, and we have Heidi and Jackie in the bottom. How do we feel about it? That's exactly what I pegged.
Same. I was actually through the whole lip sync, I kept flip-flopping of who I thought was gonna go home because it was quite hard to tell throughout it. Because at first I thought Jackie was gonna go, and then I was like, oh, like it's funny, maybe RuPaul will like it, and then I was like, oh, Heidi's really bringing it, but then she's also going back and forth so much, so I guess it makes sense.
I felt like, judged by the other standards of the show this season, I feel like it should have been Jackie who stayed and Heidi who went, because they seem to favor performers who connect with the song rather than just like standard drag queen tricks, which is kind of where I felt Heidi got into. So when they announced the double save, I wasn't surprised. I kind of felt like that's what was going to happen because I had looked at the calendar and I was like, we have an extra episode here.
True. Yeah, I was quite surprised when they said Heidi first, for sure.
So I think that they would have had a bigger, like, I feel like this season has kind of plateaued in terms of like what's like incredible and amazing about it. I think that what would have peaked is if they would have sent Jackie home and brought back Jan.
Wow. Ooh. I will see your Jan and I will raise you a Rockham.
I'm on the Rockham side.
Okay, you know what they've never done in Drag Race history? They've never brought back two people.
Send them both out, bring the two in.
That's true.
Do an all-star style swap out.
Double a limb, bring back Jan and Rockham, but they have to compete as one person.
They have to be in one dress the entire time.
They're under All Stars season 1 rules.
Oh, the buzz-in?
No, they have to compete as one person.
Yeah. The comments are saying they really enjoyed the lip sync. A lot of people thought it was an overall good episode. Yeah. Lena says that she thought it was lucky Heidi and Jackie got a disco lip sync.
It was funny that the two of them were both doing disco to a disco song, for sure.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, like, I don't know.
I don't think you can plan that. That's just the one unplanned Drag Race moment.
I think that there's probably a few ways they select like the lip sync song, and I don't think all the time it's always pre-selected. I think with Shaka, they were probably like, here's 2 Shaka Khan songs, which one will have the most impact for what we want to accomplish, and then they tell them the day of. But they get like an iPod with all the songs, and they have to learn them all. So I don't assume. True. I would love to know, and they haven't said anything like this on Race Chaser before. I would love to know if maybe they don't know the lip sync song until the day of, because the producers like to kind of see what's going to go down anyway. Because if Ru walks around and is like, oh, there's a lot of disco and they're probably going to be in the bottom because they're boogers. Yeah, like maybe we should do a disco song and like, turn it out, bitch. Who's the best disco diva? Okay.
I can see that. That would make sense.
There's also the editing of the show for the last few episodes has been Jackie appearing through the edit to be a little bit jealous of every time Heidi talks to Ru, because Heidi's constantly like, oh, what should I do, Ru? And Ru's like, you should do this. And she'd be like, okay, great. And then she fucking does it. And no one in the history of Drag Race has ever done that. And so Heidi is literally like she's literally like cracked the code. The code is to do what RuPaul says and you will win.
But also, I feel like the code is be blessed enough that Ru actually tells you what she thinks. Because she doesn't, I have never seen Ru give this many pieces of just do this to a girl. Never. Yeah. Not even Raja.
Mackenzie, I know that she didn't say do anything, but this time it was Heidi being really charming, and you can tell that Ru has this incredible fondness for Heidi. I think that because
really does.
I think because Ru comes from such a poor background, she has this affection for Heidi that comes from that place, you know? Heidi doesn't have tracking money yet, but she will, you know?
Yeah. You saw a little bit of that come out with Shangela.
Yeah.
I love Jerry's comment, and also Heidi owns land on a future fracking site.
Very possible. Very possible.
Okay, so we got another week with Jackie and Heidi. I feel pretty meh about that. That's fine.
I think they're gonna have some tension, maybe a little debacle next week, but only a little.
What do you think? Do you think either one of them is back in the bottom two next week?
Probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be the two of them.
Max says Jackie. Yeah, I just, Jackie seems a little played out. She's got to do something new, and I don't see it. And Heidi has a charisma that is just continually improvising.
Yeah. Her brain doesn't stop, or maybe it's more that her mouth doesn't stop, but she's just going. She's got to go.
Valerie Hunt says, Heidi, for me, I feel like she's out of good runways.
That's also possible. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like she's my Miss Congeniality.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe Crystal will be Miss Congeniality.
Crystal's very sweet.
Mm-hmm. I also
so Dustarella, can you select someone from the Calgary area that you think was a great participant tonight who wins our amazing prize from Bar Patricia and Infinity Ultra Lounge?
My favorite Calgarian, and I think that it's because she loves oil, is Jerry Lynn Spears.
Okay.
Oh, come on. You could have leaned into that joke. Obviously, I want to give this to Mackenzie. Like, don't be stupid. Anyone who is a fan of my music is good in my books. Also, Duke and I are getting married, so it's going to be a little bit weird, and I just like to, give something to Mackenzie because I'm also taking away from them.
How did you win the Duke marriage?
How did I win the Duke marriage?
Yeah, spill that. How come none of us got it?
Really simple. You just have to be me.
See, that's why I just claimed Duke as my secret boyfriend, and, husbands come and go, but I'll still stay there.
I've heard that about you.
Thank you.
That you're a pathological liar.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah, I can tell by the placement of the brows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do my brows say about me?
You have liar brows. You don't have brows. You don't have any. But Karla. Karla. I read your makeup.
Yes.
Because it's perfect. And if I was actually there right now, I would smudge your makeup. Because I would close my eyes and I would pretend it's the 80s, and I'd pretend we are two petty drag queens in the 80s, and I would literally smudge your makeup. And then when you went to powder, after you fixed it, when you went to powder, I would have put crushed up light bulbs into your powder, and you'd have been like, tink, and you'd have just like a little bit of blood pouring down your face, and you'd be like, and I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. I'm queen of this club. Let's go give hand jobs for money.
I love this business plan for both of you.
It was really,
Sorry for monologuing.
that was a real, I felt like that was a really conceived world you brought me into. And I, for one, am terrified. The RCMP is called. They're on the way.
Cool. I can take those colonial assholes.
Yeah, bitch. Okay, so Mac, guess what? You have won dinner tonight. So give me a shout on the Instas or the Facebook, and I'll give you your secret code. And you get some dinner tonight. So that's exciting. And also, if you can, if you're thinking, hey, I want dinner, I want a tasty treat, check out Bar Patricia. They're out there hustling. They have really tasty vegetarian ideas as well. So it's not just meat, but their poutine is astounding. Also, their portions for like what you pay is such a great deal. And if that's not enough, 9 times out of 10, Chi-Chi's in drag and will deliver it to you and do like a number on your doorstep. So please support.
That literally sounds like assault.
I want it to happen. I love random drag in the streets. Also, I almost had random drag in the streets today because there was a fire alarm literally right before I was going to start getting ready. And yeah, I was concerned. So everything's fine. I have gone outside half in drag in a fire drill once. That was a cool moment. Just full egg.
You're the best egg ever.
Thank you so much.
Top egg.
Best eggs that anyone can have. We're the 3 best eggs that anyone can have.
Okay, I think it's time to wrap it up. This has been a wonderful episode. So Vanta's put up the tip link there. So if you do feel financially able to tip us, we do appreciate it ever so much. Just thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you plug that album one more time, honey?
Yeah, my Bandcamp link. What's up? I just dropped it in the comments. Hit it. Buy it. Listen to it. Send it to your grandma. She's going to fucking love it. It's queer folk music.
I love it. Thank you so much. Vantarella, thank you so much for joining as always. You are the glue that holds this whole crazy thing together. Any final... Oh, no, Dust.
Well, my final thoughts are I won't be sleeping tonight because I've seen this.
I'm under
It is terrifying and wondrous to behold.
I'm under your bed right now.
I wish you were here, though.
I know. Oh, my God. I am so depressed. I don't... As soon as
don't
this
take
lifts...
Anne's thing away from her.
As soon as this lifts, I will be there.
We have room. We have queer spaces.
I have so many apologies to say to Karla in person for having to manage all of my anger and sadness.
Aw.
I love you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Karla Marx. You have been wonderful. This is GLOC, the Glamorous Legends of Calgary. Please like, subscribe, and share these podcasts wherever you find them. And if you can, rate us, because we're on iTunes, bitch! And also on Spotify, SoundCloud, and Mixcloud. We are really, really excited. And next week, we will be joined by the 5'8" beauty herself, Jerry Lynn Spears.
I love 5'8".
Again with the lies.
She is the tiniest 5'8", skinniest little girl you've ever met.
Oh my God, Hot Donna! Oh my God, hi, Hot Donna! I didn't know.
Oh, we got Hot Donna.
I love Hot Donna. Hot Donna and I had social distancing beers the other night. It was very wholesome. They put chairs out on their lawn for me and my roommates to sit, and we chatted. And it was lovely.
I love it. Okay, nice. Thank you everyone so much. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you next week at 9 p.m.